So the first thing I want you to do is to take a look closely at yourself and just look at your face in your screen and see the places where you can see the lines where your face works a lot. Because we use our face as a means of expression, we use muscles and structures, our jaw and things, to create impressions, to communicate with people and things like that. And unfortunately, we develop habits of clenching if we're in a high tension job where we have to hold our tongue a lot, or if we're in a stressful situation, the way we move our eyes, or if we can't see well, we squint. These are the kinds of things that we do. So first, just take a look at your face closely and see the places where you have some tension. And then we're going to look again at the end of the lesson and see what looks different. So go ahead and bring yourself to a sitting position in your chair and be comfortable. If you're lying down, you can stay lying down. This lesson is done lying down just as easily as it is in sitting. You may sense things a little bit differently because of the different relationship to gravity, but that's okay. And just sense and feel how you are in your sitting or in your lying down. Notice, where does your attention go? What is it that you sense about yourself? How much pressure is there on the right side of your pelvis in your sitting or in your lying down? How much pressure is there on the left side of your pelvis, your sits bone, as it were, if you're sitting on it, or on the back of your pelvis and lying down? And of course, because we deal with the spine, go ahead and see if you can sense and feel where the base of your skull rests on the top of your spine, and trace the line of your spine in your imagination and see where you can make contact with the vertebra, each one, and where you maybe have some blank spots in your awareness. And go down through your neck, down between your shoulder blades, through your ribs, down through your ribs, to the space between your rib cage and your pelvis, to the top of your pelvis, and down through your pelvis, down through your tailbone, and out from your tailbone into space, either down to the floor or between your heels. And just see if you can sense and feel the direction of that line from the base of your spine, and just notice if it goes a little bit to the right or a little bit to the left. And then take your attention back to your head, to where your skull rests at the top of your spine, and just close your eyes and sense and feel the weight of your head resting at the top of your spine. Sense and feel whether it feels like it's tilted a little bit to the right or a little bit to the left. Just what do you notice for yourself about where you are, where your head is in space? Maybe relative to your tailbone, or relative to your breastbone, relative to your pubic bone. And then very slowly start to do a movement of opening your mouth and pausing and closing your mouth. And you're going to do that many times. Just open a little bit and close. Try to relax your face as much as you can as you're opening and closing. Relax the muscles in your neck and your throat, and also your tongue. And just start to notice, how do you open and close the mouth? Does the right side initiate, or the left side? Does your lower jaw move straight down, or does it move a little bit to the right or a little bit to the left? See if you can sense and feel what happens right at the base of your skull as your jaw opens and as your jaw closes. Does your neck get longer when your mouth opens or when it closes? Now, simultaneously, as you let your jaw fall open, let the back of your head move backwards and down a little bit towards your shoulder blades. And then when your mouth closes, of course, your head just returns to your start position. And do that many times. Sense and feel the place and the tilting of your head back where it becomes easier for your jaw to fall open. Make sure you're resting in between each movement. So you would open and close, because it's in that rest period that your nervous system starts to attend to those little differences on the right side and on the left, and on the ease and the difficulty of what you're doing. And of course, if it's difficult or if it hurts, you don't do it, or you make it smaller, or you do it in your imagination. And see if you can relax the muscles of your neck, feeling what happens with your tongue. What happens with your eyes? Where do they look? And now open your mouth just a tiny bit and keep it open. And in fractions, move your jaw a little bit to the right, just fractionally to the right, and then pause, and then back to the middle. And move it to the right and back to the middle. And can you sense and feel the line of your jaw as it travels to the right? Travel to the right and back. And now we're going to change it a little bit. So you're going to travel it to the right, pause, bring it back to the middle and close. And then open and go to the right and come back to the middle and close. And do you have a clear picture in your sense of yourself of all the parts of you that are involved in doing that movement? Where else do you feel that there's participation? Just in this little fractional movement of opening and sliding to the right and back to the middle and closing. Now, if you have TMJ, you might notice a little bouncing in your jaw as you do that. So try to slow down, smooth out the movement, make it easy. Are you breathing? Make sure your breathing is uninterrupted. And now take your left forefinger and put it on your chin. And do the same thing. Let the mouth fall open and the jaw move to the right and come back to the middle. Sense and feel what you notice that's different because you've put your finger on your jaw. Do both sides of the mouth open evenly? Experiment a little bit with the movement to figure out what is the easy trajectory for you of opening and gliding that jaw to the right and bringing it back and closing. Where can you reduce your effort? Where can you do less? And just notice where your eyes are looking as your jaw goes to the right, and where your tongue is moving as the jaw goes to the right. And when you're satisfied that you know what you know, you can just leave all of that, take your hand away from your jaw and just rest. And just see if in your resting you can sense and feel any change in the right side of your jaw as it compares to the left side. Bring yourself back to your working position and take your hands and place them on either side of your face and just sense and feel with your fingers where you feel the articulation point of your jaw. And do that little movement again of just allowing the jaw to fall open and glide to the right and then back to the middle and close. Sense and feel what is different for you because you have your fingers on this joint or slightly below it. What do you notice? How much space is there on the inside of your mouth on the right? How much space is on the left? Sense and feel the easy trajectory of your jaw with your fingers in this position. And notice what you feel happening between your shoulder blades, in your pelvis, maybe even in the feet as they rest on the floor. And then just take your hands down and slide back and rest. And bring yourself forward in your chair to your working position, or just if you're just lying there, just sense and feel where you are, bringing your attention back to the moment. And then start to allow your mouth to open just a little bit and keep it open. And then slowly move your lower jaw a little bit to the left. And then bring it to the middle and close and rest. And do that many times, experimenting, playing, observing the differences that you feel as the jaw glides to the left for you. Because your nervous system is wired for comparisons, so you just do it automatically. Sensing and feeling what parts of you that you notice that are involved. Notice what happens with your eyes. What happens with your tongue? Going slowly, reducing your effort, making sure that your breath is free and uninterrupted. And because the brain learns so quickly, go ahead and take your right index finger and put it on your jaw, on your chin, right where you have that little cleft there, and allow the jaw to fall open and move to the left, and just sense and feel what other parts of you come into your awareness because you have your finger on your jaw at your chin. Sense and feel what is clearer to you. keeping the movement small. And then just bring everything back to the middle and slide back in your chair and rest. You know, human beings are born and they take years to learn all the things that they need to learn to be independent beings. In the animal kingdom, baby animals are born and very often they're able to fend for themselves from the time they're born. But humans take a long time to learn. So your nervous system is built in such a way to learn and acquire experience. So your rest piece is very important. That's where the brain starts to knit together the pieces of things that you've observed to create those new patterns that will help you move and be in an easier, more independent way. So go ahead and bring yourself forward in your chair again and take your fingers and find that joint in your jaw and continue that same movement that you just did. Allow your jaw to fall open and glide to the left. And just sense and feel what else comes into your awareness because your fingers are there. What do you sense between the shoulder blades? Down in your pelvis? Maybe the soles of the feet? And when you're satisfied that you've observed what is different for you with this jaw going to the left, then allow your hands to come down and rest in your lap and slide back in your chair and rest. Remember that your breath will indicate to you whether or not you are creating additional tensions or you're doing too much. So if you find yourself holding your breath, see if you can slow the movement down enough that you can breathe freely and easily, that your breath can be uninterrupted through the whole range of motion, and so that you can sense and feel those places where you're having some difficulty that are causing you to catch your breath. Now bring yourself forward in your chair again. We're starting to play a little bit with your eyes and your tongue. So allow your jaw to fall open and glide gently to the right as you notice where your eyes are looking, where they naturally look. And then glide it back and see what your eyes do. And then close and feel the movement of your eye in the socket. So slow it down enough so that you can sense it as the mouth opens. What happens to the eyeball in the socket? What does it do? And then what does it do when the jaw glides to the right? And when it comes back to the middle? And when it closes. And if you're not sure that you can sense the movement of your eye, then close your eyes. Sometimes it's easier to sense and feel what happens with your eyes as you just continue that movement in the background, but having your attention on the movement of your eyes. And the next time, see if you can coordinate your eyes with the jaw so that when the jaw opens, you feel where the eyes look, But when the jaw glides to the right, take your eyes with your jaw and notice if the eyes get to the end or if the jaw gets to the end first. And then you pause and then return to come back and see what arrives first. And then where the eyes look when the jaw closes. You feel that when the jaw opens, the eyes tend to roll up and back a little bit. But what the eyes do laterally can be very dependent on what's happening in your neck. So after you've played with coordinating your eyes with the jaw going to the right, then try a few times of letting your eyes look to the left as the jaw goes to the right and sense and feel what is different. Keeping your breathing free. Reducing any effort where you sense and feel any. And then just bring everything back to the middle and just pause here in the middle. And allow your mouth to fall open and watch what your eyes do now as you glide to the right. And come back. Sense and feel any change in the ease of the jaw gliding to the right. And then start to pay attention to your tongue. Does your tongue travel with your jaw? Does it feel like it twists or bends? And the next time that your jaw glides to the right, just take the point end of your tongue and put the point end of your tongue into your cheek. And then remove it from the cheek as the jaw comes back to the middle and close. And do that many times. As the jaw glides, take the tongue and push it into the cheek. And then remove it and come back to the middle and close. Just sensing and feeling where you can reduce your effort. Notice what other parts of you that you feel are involved as you move your tongue. And when you're satisfied, then the next time that you take your jaw to the right, then move your tongue and put it in the left cheek. It will be a very small movement. Go very slowly so that you can actually do what you're intending to do. It'll be very small. Making sure that you're breathing. And then just leave your tongue and let your jaw fall open and glide to the right. And check the ease now. And then just close your mouth and allow yourself to rest. Bring yourself back to your work position, your working position, and allow your mouth to fall open and close it a few times, just opening and closing, seeing if you sense and feel the difference between the right side of your jaw and the left side of your jaw. Your attention back to your eyes as your mouth opens and closes, feeling where your eyes look. Again, if you have to, close your eyes so you can sense and feel the movement of the eyes in the socket. And then start to experiment with keeping your attention on your eyes, but gliding the jaw to the left. And you're going to do that many times, making sure that you close in between so that the mouth opens and glides, the jaw glides to the left, and then it glides back to the middle and then closes. And sense where your eyes are moving. And just start to coordinate the eyes with the jaw, noticing if the eyes get to the left before the jaw or after the jaw. Using any strain that you feel in the inside of your mouth, around your tongue. And once you're satisfied that you have a good understanding of what you do with yourself and your eyes go with your jaw, then the next time that you start to glide the jaw to the left, then glide your eyes to the right, look to the right, and go slowly so that you can sense and feel any change in the back of your neck or between your shoulders, the way you sit on your chair, the way the weight shifts in your pelvis, the way the soles of the feet make contact with the floor. And then go back to just coordinating the eyes with the jaw and see if the jaw glides more easily. And take your attention away from your eyes and to your tongue. And just sense and feel how your tongue rests in your mouth as the jaw glides to the left. Feel the way it rests in the mouth. One side feels higher or lower. It feels like there's a little twist maybe. And then start to do that little movement of as your jaw glides to the right, take your tongue and put it in the left cheek, or to the left and put it in the left cheek, and then come back and close. And you are going to the left. So allowing the mouth to open and glide the jaw to the left, placing the tongue in the cheek, taking the tongue away from the cheek as you come back and letting it rest. Going at your own tempo, sensing and feeling where you can reduce your effort, where you can make the movement lighter and easier. And then start to play with taking your tongue in the opposite direction. Go very slowly to try to have the jaw open and the tongue move to the right. And put in the corner of the cheek there and come back, bring everything to the middle and close. And do that many times. Noticing what you notice that's different than it was on the right. It's different when the tongue goes with the jaw. Where do you sense that you are working in a different way? And then bring the tongue with the jaw, with the eyes to the right, to the left, I'm sorry, to the left, and see if anything feels easier, if anything is more clear, if more of you is participating. And where do you sense and feel that there's a change? And when you're satisfied with all of that, just slide back in your chair or just allow yourself to rest. And really allow yourself to rest and start to sense and feel how your face feels less tension, how your jaw rests in your rest position. And if you have problems with your shoulders, maybe you even notice that your shoulders feel better. And bring yourself back and allow your mouth to open a little bit and keep it open. And slowly move your jaw a little bit to the right and back to the middle and a little bit to the left. Just keeping your eyes closed so that your attention can be on that movement of the jaw, moving right and left. Small, tiny movements using as little muscular effort as you can. Relaxing your eyes, feeling how they're moving just a little side to side. Take your thumbs and place them underneath your jawbone, right where you feel the little point here. And continue that movement of just opening and sliding a little to the right and a little to the left. And see if you can sense the line of the jaw as it goes to the right and to the left. Your thumb should be as light as a butterfly on a lilac bush so that you're not pushing into the bone. You just rest, just barely touch it. Because the less you do, the more you'll feel. Just feel the difference in the jaw traveling to the right and traveling to the left. And notice what other parts of you are involved. Where else can you sense because you have your thumbs here? What other parts of you become more clear in your awareness? And then allow your hands to fall down and just rest. And bring yourself back. And open your mouth a little bit and keep it open. And this time, slowly move your jaw forward, that lower jaw, so that your lower teeth are a little bit forward of your front teeth. And then let your jaw return to its normal position and rest. Closing the mouth. And then the mouth falls open and the lower jaw glides forward in front of the top teeth, and then it returns. And rest in between each movement. Just make your own observations. What do you notice? Making sure that you rest in between. And see if you can sense and feel whether that jaw veers a little bit to the right or a little bit to the left as it comes forward. And if you're not sure, just take one of your index fingers, it doesn't matter which one, and put it right on your chin, right at that dimple. Allow the mouth to fall open and glide the teeth forward. And see if the presence of your finger on your chin gives you more information. You can allow the finger to come down. And the next time that you draw that lower jaw forward in front of the teeth, keep it there and just feel the place where the jaw is being held. And then slowly glide the jaw in front of the teeth to the right a little bit and come back to the middle and rest. And then keeping the lower jaw in front of the upper one, glide it to the right and return to the middle and rest. You can rest anytime that you need to rest. And then just join us back. See what happens with your tongue. See if you can reduce any efforting in your tongue as you do that. See if you feel tension in the front of your throat. Check in with your breathing, making sure that it's easy and uninterrupted. Where are your eyes moving? Let's play with your eyes. Take your eyes with your jaw as it glides to the right. Just do that a few times. And then take your eyes to the left as your jaw goes to the right. And because your jaw is forward now in front of the teeth, you can sense and feel different things. Relax your shoulders. And then take your eyes with your jaw and see if you can take your tongue to the left. Don't let your breath stop. You want to keep breathing. It's kind of essential. And then just bring everything back to the middle. And just open and close your mouth one time and see if you feel a difference between the right side and the left. And slide back in your chair and rest. Bring yourself forward in your chair. And allow your mouth to fall open. If your jaw is getting tired, you can just do these things in your imagination. And then glide your jaw forward and keep it there. Keep the jaw to the front so that the bottom teeth are in front of your top ones. And then glide your jaw slowly a little bit to the left. and back to the middle and rest. And do that many times. See if you can sense and feel different places where you may be holding on to some tension. What's happening in your stomach? Let your abdomen be relaxed. How about your hands, your arms, your legs? Does moving your jaw to the left in this position feel different than moving it to the right? Start to play with your eyes, noticing what your eyes are doing as the jaw glides to the left. Go slowly. So we're approaching the end of the lesson. It's easy to become fatigued. And if you're tired, you just rest and join us back. Feel how easily your eyes and your jaw move together to the left, trying to make the movement smooth. And when you're comfortable that your jaw gliding to the left and your eyes sliding are smooth and easy, then take your eyes to the right as the jaw goes to the left. Try to reduce your effort. The mouth can be open just a tiny bit. It doesn't have to be widely open. It just has to be slightly open so that you're not overstraining in the joint. And just feel what's different when your eyes go to the right and your forward jaw goes to the left. And when you feel like you understand what you're doing with yourself there, then bring your eyes back with your jaw and try to take your tongue to the right as the jaw goes to the left. And you'll sense and feel a very particular spot in the back of your neck. Relax your eyes. And just bring everything back together and just let your mouth fall open and your tongue and your eyes and your jaw all glide to the left and come back to the middle and rest. And bring yourself back. And simply allow the mouth to fall open just as you did at the very beginning of your lesson. And then glide your jaw a little bit to the right and move through the middle and a little bit to the left, going from side to side gently and easily. Feeling how your breath is coordinated with your movement. Sensing the softness in your eyes and in your tongue. Relaxing your entire body as much as possible so that you can see that it's possible to feel this slight, tiny movement of the jaw moving from right to left through the whole self. And just bring everything back to the middle. And just allow your mouth to fall open and feel the ease of the mouth falling open. And then gently close the mouth and sense and feel the space between your upper and lower teeth. And open your eyes if they're closed. And lean into your computer to have a look at your face, to see how the muscles of your face have relaxed. Just sense and feel the easiness in your jaw, in your chest. And that's your lesson for today. I think we can open the floor for some questions. I'd like to leave a couple minutes. There's something I'd like to share with you before we leave.
Sure.
But I'd like to take questions.
Okay, is there any questions that anyone has or felt or anything for Stacia regarding? Jen, go ahead.
So when you did the tongue movement on the left side, I don't know if it's because I'm a righty, but I had a lot of difficulty doing that. I felt like something was almost like wrong with me. Like I couldn't do it right. Is that normal, or is that, I mean, I guess nothing, you know, everything's normal, but it was weird. Like I'm so easy to do it on the right side, putting the tongue on the left, but I couldn't do it reverse really. Like I felt weird.
Right. Well, the first thing I'd say is normal is a cycle on your dishwasher or your washing machine. Right. I mean, that's the reality. It's just, you just don't know how to do it.
Right.
That's all. You don't know how to organize yourself around that. So for you, that's a very interesting thing. You just say, oh, that's so interesting. On the right side, it was so easy to do that. But on the left, it was like, it's kind of like if you're right-handed trying to brush your teeth with your left hand, which is one of the things that, you know, is recommended as we're aging, is to do things with our non-dominant hand anyway, because it builds our neural map in a different way. So you just don't know how to do it yet. And if you practice this lesson over a period of time, it would become very clear what's getting in the way and you would figure it out. Nothing is wrong with you because it was awkward and felt weird. Mm-hmm.
Anyone else have any comments or felt the same way, or any other things that might have come up for them? Anyone? Okay, and so you said, you had mentioned you had something you wanted to.
Yes, this is a wonderful book.
The Brain's Way of Healing.
The Brain's Way of Healing. I think I mentioned it early on in our time. I think I may have given this title. If I didn't, I'll make sure I email it and send it out, or you can take a screenshot of it or something. But Norman Doidge is a neuroscientist, and he's also a physician, and he's on the faculty of the Columbia School of Medicine at Columbia University. And he wrote 2 chapters in this book on Moshe Feldenkrais. So if you're interested in learning more, or having a better understanding of the method just for your own self and other things that are being investigated in the field of neuroscience, in the field of neuroplasticity, this is a great read. It's an easy read. It's not super complicated with lots of medical terminology. It's really a layperson's book. I think you would enjoy it.
Okay, so I have, I put the title in the chat, and Ashley's going to add the link in the chat as well. I do see that Douglas, you have your hand up, so if you want to unmute, and you can.
No, that was very good. I meant to ask you a question. Okay, so it's like a meditation and some exercises. That pretty much, because you can get a lot of meditation from it, from what I can see.
Well, obviously, because Moshe was he had a great understanding of Eastern meditative practices. I'm sure it influenced the way he taught his lessons and the way he trained his future instructors of his methods. So it is true. It is very meditative, but it's not exercise. He would object, I think, to the term exercise. I think he would probably describe it as experience, right? An experience that leads to learning. And
But he has a lot of other body parts that I remember doing this many years ago at Esalen, that they had, all kinds of exercise.
Well, it may have felt like exercise. I'm not sure that that was his intention. You understand what I'm trying to just differentiate my understanding of his practice, which is that he did not want people to do movements mindlessly. Because we all act in mindless ways every day. We reach up to get our glass out of the cupboard to get a drink of water, but for somebody who has shoulder problems, that's not a possibility. And so the question becomes, how does a person who has difficulty or issues with the shoulder, how can that person learn to use himself in such a way that getting that glass from the shelf is not problematic for him or her?
But didn't he have a lot of other body movements that I remember, all kinds of stuff?
Yes,
that's
yes,
what-
yes. And I have transcripts from Esalen, and it was an amazing series of lessons for sure. It's hard to be so active when I'm trying to have you in the chair. Perhaps maybe we can do one of the later ones, Nicole, where people can actually lie on the floor. Do things like that. If you want to take a survey or something of your participants and see how many people would be interested in a bigger movement patterns.
Okay. Yeah, we could do that. And I did see that Frida chatted in that her jaw trembled when she was doing the jaw from left to right. That happens sometimes, it's almost like when you're doing Pilates and you shake, right? When you're in those movements. So I guess the trembling in the jaw, similar.
Well, she could have been a little bit fatigued. It could just be a little skipping in the pattern, a little irregularity in the movement. So over time, if you slow it down and make it smaller, that little shake might work itself out. But if you overwork, yes, you'll definitely, and these are small muscles here. So, and we did a lot with them today. So don't be surprised if your tongue is loosed. You might want to guard yourself from the inside to make sure what you say to your friends and neighbors today, because there is a title of this lesson is of freeing the neck and the jaw, or the tongue, freeing the tongue, because your tongue was very involved in what we did today. So any other questions for me?
Anybody
The other
else?
thing, I was having a stomach problem, and I want to tell you, it helped my stomach a lot. It's a lot better.
Oh, there you go.
Just by doing this, it's hard to believe, but my stomach feels much better. I was having stomach problem before.
That's great.
The beautiful thing. The lesson goes where it needs to go. So I can teach as many of you, and all of you will experience it in the place where you need to have it. And that's kind of the miracle of this work, is that your nervous system takes from it what you need to improve you. And I think that's a great and wonderful thing.
That is wonderful. And just to let everybody know, Stacia will be back with us on Monday, March 28th at 10 a.m. Eastern time. And you could always reach out to Stacia. We have her information on our website under event experts, and you can find her email there if you have any further questions for her. Frida wants to see your doggy. There you go.
This is Nike.
That's Nike. And how many, you have 4?
I have 5. I have 5.
Five.
I have 4 more. I have Perseus, Nyx, Calypso, and Chaos, and Nike.
And there he is. And Nike's the one who always sits on your lap, right?
Most of the time, yeah. She keeps me warm during the lessons because I get cold.